Anti-corruption journalist Daphne Caruana Galizia, killed when a bomb exploded under her car in Malta 1 year ago. Yasser Mutaja, Palestinian photographer, shot by Israeli forces during a mass demonstration along the Gaza border in April. And at least 8 journalists murdered in Mexico so far this year. Their profession now categorized as high risk in that country and getting riskier almost everywhere else.
This year, 75 journalists at least have been killed, roughly 2 a week, and yet nobody gets punished for these crimes. So what we want are binding international norms in the form of a United Nations Convention to address the question of impunity. Because impunity doesn't just affect the journalists or their families, it affects the whole of society, because the implication is that if you can get away with killing a journalist, more people are likely to attack and kill journalists, and in that way more journalists end up self-censoring in certain societies where they're under threat.
In 1978, on a day not unlike this one, Bulgarian dissident and journalist Georgi Markov was murdered on London's Waterloo Bridge, allegedly by a member of his country's secret service. The weapon of choice, a poison-tipped umbrella. Attacks on journalists are nothing new. They've been going on for as long as the powerful have had something to hide from the people. But the silencing of free speech is no less shocking for that, whether by bomb, by bullet, or other insidious means. The 2018 version of the umbrella murder on Waterloo Bridge, the alleged strangulation and dismemberment of exiled Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi inside the country's consulate in Istanbul.
The Middle East is at the lowest rank of the Reporters Without Borders Index for Freedom of Press. It is the worst place to be a journalist. We know of cases where journalists have... Jamal is just one in many. In Syria, in Iraq, in Palestine, in Egypt, across the region, in the Gulf. This is a pattern that has gone on for far too long.
What chance of justice for Khashoggi and the great many others? The UN notes that in 9 out of 10 cases the killers go unpunished. Jonah, Al Jazeera, London.